Let this one go since we cut it off earlier and bring it back.
The world famous Mr. Magic Rap Attack presents
As we proceed to give you what you need.
What's going on, everyone? Stritch here on this lovely Tuesday, back with my boy T-Mare. You know, it feels like we've been doing this for years now.
It really has been. I think we're getting into like a good little rhythm here. And only episode 7, right?
Yep.
Episode 7. Only 7 in, but so far so good, I think.
Oh, absolutely. And we have a lot to discuss. We had a nice couple days of sports, just stuff happening in general.
Very true.
I think everyone will enjoy today's pod. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFL, some controversy going on there.
Lots of controversy.
No surprise. The Pats were involved. I love it. Cowboys involved. Love it. We want to also thank AJ for letting us into his home on Friday. That was great.
Absolutely.
Had a blast. Definitely going to be back at it with him in the future. Talk a little bit about the NBA, some predictions. We got the Savage of the Week we're going to discuss in this epi. So, Mary, you want to kick it off with your thoughts on the Pats-Steelers game and everything that transpired in the last, I guess, minute there?
Absolutely. Even though I will say that, when I was watching that unfold at that point, it was really more so me just sitting there trying to talk myself out of jumping out of my window because I had just lost.
Oh, that's true.
I don't want to go into it too much more.
Don't want to touch on it?
No, I don't. It's already behind me. Fantasy football will not be in my mind, at least until the new year.
Yep.
I will not think about fantasy football at all. But in terms of the Steelers-Pats game, what a ride. As someone who really has no rooting interest involved, it was such a great game to watch, especially those last 2 minutes. Gronk, 69 yards on that single drive down the field.
I'd expect nothing.
Absolutely love it. I love Gronk. I've always loved Gronk, so that was fantastic. I'm also a big Juju guy. Juju comes in, just breaks off an absolutely beautiful 69-yard pass reception.
Magic number.
He was not fast enough, though. I thought he could have made it, and I was surprised when he pulled up kind of at the end.
I was shocked.
But, when it comes down to the big play, and if you don't know, right, was it Jesse James? Jesse James extended, made the catch, extended to get into the end zone. When he came down, the ball got jarred loose a little. They called it incomplete. Next play, Big Ben threw a slant pass that really he had no business in throwing some out route like that. Yeah. They rush up trying to spike the ball, and then people are telling him not to spike the ball, so he doesn't spike the ball, and he throws it into quadruple coverage, basically. Tipped right into the Pats' hands.
Yep.
It was, it's no surprise to me because it's the Pats.
Yeah. I mean, being a diehard Patriot over here, that was the Patriot way, Mayor. I expected nothing less. I mean, the first drive of the game I watched, so beautiful, and then the last game, so beautiful. They got to figure it out, complete the game. I mean, they still have ways to go, in my opinion. Now, everyone's saying that it was an obvious catch, just hating. Straight up hating.
They are.
I mean, if you slow down the play and look, his left hand comes off the ball's moving. Jesse James, try to be the hero. You're not the hero, fella. Don't try and do that.
Right.
If AB hadn't gotten hurt, let him be the hero, or Le'Veon, or Big Ben be the hero. Anybody but you, Jesse James, and he probably would have won. And also, I love Uncle Shannon. Shannon Sharp on Undisputed.
Love Uncle Shannon.
He summed it up perfectly.
Yeah.
He said you got to look at the other plays that happened in the game. Besides that one play, with the whole drop, they could have picked off Brady on the drive that Gronk scored and then got the 2-point conversion like the daddy he is.
How great was that Gronk spike, too? He, laughed at him.
10.0.
Oh, man.
10.0. Amazing.
It was
amazing. But, like I said, could have caught the pick. He didn't catch it. He dropped it. That was the game. He could have ended it
100%.
there.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
And I agree 100% that, at first when I watched it, I said, there's no way that's not a catch.
Right. I thought it was too.
Because I thought it was, and I kept saying to myself, well, the only thing that matters is you crossing the plane. And then, right, I wasn't thinking at the time because I was going through some mourning for my fantasy season. So once, the cobwebs had cleared, I kind of realized that this has been the way that's been called for the past half a decade now. Mm-hmm. The Dez catch, the Calvin Johnson catch.
Started with who challenged it? Lovie Smith, they said.
Lovie Smith, I believe so.
You hate him then. Don't hate my Patriots over here. Hate the player, hate the game.
Right.
That's what I keep telling everyone. I mean, it's not their fault.
No.
Sorry. And also going back to not only the dropped INT, how about the fact they couldn't get a first down on the Patriots' trash-ass defense? No, they didn't have Van Noy again.
Yep.
I mean, Trey Flowers did. I had a priority basketball game, Sunday League. I only watched the first quarter, not even. Then had to catch up, and I couldn't take it. So much anxiety. I basically skipped to the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So did Trey Flowers play?
He did, but spare. He
was ineffective.
He wasn't.
He's the best guy in the
usual.
D-line.
Right. He wasn't his usual. I wouldn't say dominant, but he's a great player. He wasn't his usual self.
And Van Noy is huge. We got to get him back. That is for damn sure. But they 3-and-out. Biggest offensive possession for the Steelers. They go 3-and-out. They couldn't get a first down. They could have probably iced it. They get a first down there.
Oh, absolutely. And in general, I mean, so many opportunities squandered by both. And when it comes to AB, Antonio Brown, he did get hurt on the play. Right,
should have caught it,
but he should have caught it. He really should have. But that's neither here or there. I don't want to blame him when you're hurt. When things happen like that, you really can't control your body at that point.
No.
But if he didn't get kicked, I think he kind of got accidentally kicked in the calf, which is what happened.
Yeah.
If he didn't get kicked, that would have been absolute. That would have been a catch.
Yeah.
And it's just how it is, and I agree. Even though sometimes you Patriot fans do get. On my nerves a little bit. Not you per se, but just your fan base in total.
Are you going to call anyone out, man?
Not calling out anyone in general. I'm just calling out the fan base as a whole.
We don't know. I don't know any other Patriot fans in our group chat besides me. I'm the only one in our friend group. That's why I'm saying people always say Pats fans. I want to know who. Wood? Our guy Travis Wood, first guest on episode 1. For those of you who don't know Woodsy,
we don't. What does he call himself now?
He's
Who is
a
he
Pats
a fan
fan.
of? Is he? I thought he was a Saints.
It's got to
fan.
be Wood. No, he's Pats. He's Pats, and then Saints in a second. Kind of like me, and then the other team I'll root for is the Cowboys. Cowboy up. Yep.
Okay. I think just in general, I deal with a lot of Pats fans at my work.
Okay.
And I hear it there.
Okay.
I hear it in a lot of places. You're not that type of guy. I've said that before. You are kind of
Fair
more
enough.
level-headed, but
that's what I hear from everybody.
Your Brady love, your Brady love sometimes, can impair your judgment to all of you guys, just a little bit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it could, but it's hard to argue against him. I was listening to ESPN radio this morning. They were talking about NFL MVP. Who's going to be the MVP? They had Steve Young on the Golick and Wingo show. Brand new show on ESPN 97.9.
Quick thoughts on that. You like it?
Not bad. I don't hate Wingo. I think he's pretty fair when discussing any topic in general. He's not too biased. Golick either. They're both pretty fair.
Yeah.
I like him more than Greeny. Greeny was awful. He's such a nerd, loser. he hated on the Patriots. He was just. I didn't like him. I didn't like his takes.
Yeah. He has never liked the Pats. He's like him
Jets.
and Nick
He's a
Wright
guy.
don't like the Pats.
Yeah, there's a couple who don't. Rob Parker.
Yeah.
I want both of them gone. Eliminated off the air. I can't take it. I don't follow him. I'm blocked by Rob Parker. And
are you really?
Yeah, blocked by him.
I like that. All right.
And Nick Wright, I just don't follow. I just see him popping up on retweets and shit. So it is what it is.
Great guy.
But I do like some of Nick Wright's takes. It's just most of the time I can't handle him. So it is what it is.
Right. But getting back to Golick and Wingo real quick, the one thing. It just doesn't feel right to listen to those. When I wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm getting ready for work, the one thing that I always knew is that when I turned on my TV, who was going to be there? Mike and Mike. They're going to be talking and eating sandwiches and making fun of each other. And I look forward to that a little bit. It's like my parents got divorced and my dad already got remarried super quick.
So you were a fan of the show.
I wasn't a fan per se, but
sounds like you were.
It's like I would say I'm a fan. I didn't listen to it all the time to say I'm like,
it's 6 a.m. You can only listen to it when you're going to work.
It's like 6 to 10. I don't know who could possibly listen to that whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was like, you knew it was there. It was like a little security blanket for your day. And now it's gone.
You're right to work. You always could rely on that.
You could. Yeah. Absolutely.
But what I was going to say, they're talking about the MVP. Steve Young saying Brady. He said he's been saying it every week. Brady until further notice. He said Tom Brady.
I can't see it being anyone other than Tom. I really can't.
Healthy.
Yes.
I mean, you could have made a case if like Wentz kept playing for his team. He's pretty valuable. But I mean, Nick Foles steps in. He throws 4 touchdowns.
Very true.
Like they won again this week. I mean, he's playing decent.
They did. That's why a couple of the guys that were kind of like jostling for first place with him, Antonio Brown, people were chirping for him. By missing the last 2 weeks, you're basically going to be eliminating yourself. That's just how it is.
I mean, I think AB, honestly, I would have him ahead of Brady just because of the stats and stuff. But at the same time, it's not the best player. It's the most valuable.
Exactly.
And that also makes me think back to an RJ Bell tweet. For those who don't know, big Vegas guy, makes like he puts out a lot of lines and what Vegas thinks, a lot of betting stuff. And he was saying how if Brady got hurt at the beginning of the year before they traded Garoppolo, same odds to win the Super Bowl, which is very interesting.
That is very interesting. You know what I saw actually today?
That's why I said AB there.
AB. Right, AB, yeah. And that's why kind of like the argument with Wentz too is that now, as you said, Foles comes in, looks great. But him getting hurt. The only other person I can see, I was looking at some rankings today actually, and they had one site, I believe it was Bleacher Report, and I'm not a huge Bleacher Report guy, but when they're on Twitter, like they put up graphics and they kind of put up their top 5, and they had number 2 as Todd Gurley.
Yeah, he made a big case for himself, obviously, this past weekend.
He did.
4 touchdowns. Like over 100 yards receiving at the half, like just absurd stuff.
Absolutely.
Seattle kind of a mess right now. Not Gurley. He's definitely very valuable. I think the coach, though, is more valuable than Gurley to that team. He should win Coach of the Year for sure.
I think he will. Yeah. Absolutely. But what I was going to say real quick about Brady, you were talking about how, if Brady went down, Jimmy G was the QB, odds wouldn't change. What do you think? I just read this report today. That there's some speculation that Belichick did not trade Jimmy G to the Browns because simply he did not want to ruin Jimmy G's career. That's like the rumor going around, is that he knew that place is just like a black hole of talent, and he didn't want to send him there. I mean, I think that's if that's true. That's just absolute respect by Bill.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt Double B to do that. I mean, let's see. Browns last year won one game. This year it's probably going to be 0. I saw a quote, Hugh Jackson, from the beginning of the year. That's not going to happen. We will not be going 1-15. I'll jump in that lake over there if we lose, referring to Lake Erie. So I've been seeing that rotate around social media a little bit. But that is something if Bill actually. That's his reasoning behind sending him off to San Fran for a little bit less of a bargain.
I think there's no doubt that when you look at those two teams, the Browns and the 49ers, even though both of them absolutely stink, one team has a higher, potential outlook than the other. And the 49ers, Jimmy G looks good. Are you a little upset that Jimmy G is gone after he's starting to prove himself now?
No, not at all. I'm loving the success. Now, actually, I said earlier, 2 minutes ago, I'm a Patriot diehard, followed by Cowboys. Throw San Fran in that mix as long as Jimmy G is there.
Okay,
absolutely
interesting. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, in general, that was that Steelers Pats game. That was something.
Yeah, great regular season game. Yeah. Usually for us Pat fans, I don't get up for these regular season games, but this one I did, and I only got to watch basically the fourth quarter, taped it, but it was still exhilarating, and I got to see the best part of the game. Pats win.
Very true. Very true. I've never been a guy who, like, a lot of people are able to record games and then watch them after.
I tried.
Can't do it.
I tried.
It's impossible.
It was just going so slow. The demeanor in my household when I got home, my dad was not happy. Like, I could hear him, kind of yelling at the TV. So I knew something bad was happening. And then I was like, Ty, my brother, I can't take this. Like, did you watch the game, or do you know where we're at right now? He goes, yeah. I'm like, just get us live right now. Yeah. I cannot take it anymore.
I can't do it.
And of course, we fast forward after we were only down by 3, and then they're down by 8, and they don't have the ball, and I'm like, great, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, I can never do that because I already know what happened.
Yeah,
like, the temptation is too much.
I can't.
Like, for example, last night, Kobe got 2 numbers retired, right? Number 8, number 24. I was talking to Goose, a.k.a. Darren Ayotte.
Yep, great guy.
one of the biggest Laker fans, probably the only Laker fan I know, but he is absolutely one of the biggest Laker fans, one of the biggest Kobe fans I know. And I asked him, I said, how did you like the ceremony? And he goes, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't recorded. Don't spoil it for me.
That's kind of psychotic.
I go, it's almost been like 12 hours since it happened. Like, I understand, Goose, if you don't know, he does work for some news station. He has some weird schedules that he's up at 4. He's like at bed at like 6. But still, it's like, you would think your favorite player
find some time.
You would find some time and get to it.
Oh, if it were Brady, absolutely. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. But ever since I've known him, he's done this.
Yeah, that's just how he is. If he can roll like that, all respect to him. Now, before we dive into Kobe Bryant a little bit, because that was a big deal.
Yes.
Let's talk about the other controversial NFL game, Cowboys Raiders. Now, there was a 4th down play. Again, I only watch the half. It's not easy being in corporate Stritch, I got to be up at 7. It's not easy. I don't like it. It's tough.
I'm going to be completely honest. Didn't watch a single minute of the game.
I mean, I'm exhausted this morning. I stayed up and watched that whole stupid Tampa Bay game because I was rooting for Tampa because I want Dallas to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we'll touch upon how they'll do that. Very simple mathematics.
Okay.
However, they rolled the dice on 4th down, apparently, come up basically in like millimeters short, and the refs pull out an index card and start like flashing it between the football and the first down marker. And Jack Del Rio is just beside himself, wondering what is going on here. I mean, it looked like a first down. Like the fact that you can't take a piece of paper and do that. There's got to be a better solution to the problem.
I
or the
completely
situation,
agree.
I guess.
I mean, when I saw that whole thing, right, I woke up the next morning and I checked and everyone's talking about the piece of paper. I was like, what? I mean, has this ever happened before that they decided, hey, now we're going to find out this is a first down? Like, the chains aren't enough. We're going to put a piece of paper in front of it? Like, what was, like, the precedent for them for doing this?
I have no idea. I didn't really look into it that much, honestly. I probably should have.
Yeah,
but apparently there was the index card is folded a little bit, like a little fold. So when it's folded, it's a little thicker. Therefore, you swipe down on the ball, it's going to hit the ball.
That's true.
I don't know. But apparently it wasn't a call that was in favor of Raiders fans.
Right.
It helped out the Cowboys, and they really needed to win that game. I mean, rightfully so. I thought Dallas, the moments I did watch, were the better team.
I think they're absolutely. I checked the halftime score. I saw it was 10-0. I thought the game was all but locked up for them. But I will say, I mean, the Raiders, I don't know what they're doing this year. I don't know what's wrong with them. But it's not the same team we saw last year. Simple. And so, I was happy to see the boys win. But really the question is, you were saying you think that the boys can make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean,
I have the solution right here.
Okay.
Before I break the solution, I just want to say something. I got some breaking news. I'm calling out Bobby Mazzucato. This kid is the KD of basically the basketball leagues I play in. This kid is the ultimate snake. He's leaving what could have been a great B-ball squad for the Winter League I'm about to play in, and he's snaking to the champs. They already won. He's snaking to the team that already won the championship without him. Now he's going to ride the coattails to another championship. What are your thoughts on this, Mayor? Respect. Bob, it's being lost.
My whole view of Bob has just changed in a matter of seconds. I
can't believe it.
Unbelievable, Bob. I hope this is not true. I hope this is like a mistake, but
yeah, I have pretty reliable sources, to say the least. Mayor, you want to take a peek at that source? Don't reveal it, but I have sources.
Yes.
And
we have our sources, and that's just one of them.
Like the source with the Oregon game, we didn't know that their running back who's going to the NFL was going to sit out, so that changes everything.
That changed everything.
So you can basically wash that off. The source, he's still very legitimate, or she, could be either or. We're PC here on the Hot Snowball.
It could be he or a she, or identify something else. We're very PC here.
Absolutely,
at the pod.
absolutely.
So getting back to the boys.
That was just some breaking news I had to get off my chest, and
I'm sad to hear that.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is.
I'm not worried about it. He's going to be fifth fiddle on that team. All right.
Okay.
Anyway. All right. So this is how the Cowboys make the playoffs. They got to win the next 2 games, so go 2-0. They need Detroit to lose a game against either Cincinnati or Green Bay. A-Rod, for those who didn't know, Aaron Rodgers is going to be sitting out the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Confirmed, since he had the collarbone. I mean, shaken up, they didn't win. They're out of it, so not going to risk his health. No point. And then an NFC South team, whether it's Atlanta, Falcons, Carolina Panthers or New Orleans Saints need to go 0-2. And both teams play each other, so it's going to come down to basically one game. Now I'm pulling up my handy-dandy Sports Alerts app, and just so you know, Cowboys next week are home against Seattle. Zeke is back.
He is back.
And Seattle's a mess. So I like Dallas's chances in that one. And then week 17, they're at Philly, which is a huge game. No Wentz.
Huge game.
But a huge game.
Absolutely.
So
in terms of this week, did you see that Zeke made a deal with, I think it was Eric Dickerson?
Really?
And he said, I am going to run for 200 yards week 16.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
if
probably.
you hear that,
if Gurley did.
If you're a Cowboys fan, you hear that, you got to be just
Love it.
just so excited.
But at the same time, I was hearing that Garrett might play Zeke seldomly.
Okay. Right. And
Interesting take, I heard.
What was the reasoning behind that? Did they say?
No rhyme or reason behind that. Maybe he's just trying to hide the fact that he will be playing from Seattle so they don't game plan for him. Maybe,
Okay.
I don't know. That's just what I recall hearing that in one of my group chats today.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely an interesting take. Don't know how serious that is or how reliable this source is. This isn't one of my best source. You can imagine who it is. He called in on the show one time. Give you a hint there. Cowboy fan.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we all.
yeah.
I will say though, I saw a picture of Zeke, or I saw something. He went somewhere.
The beach.
Yeah, went to the beach, got shredded.
Yeah, he's
He
looking
looks
good.
jacked.
Looking good.
So we'll see what happens with him.
Love that.
Absolutely. But anything else really before we move on in terms of NFL you want to talk about? Because I'm done with the NFL. In terms of football.
I know.
I'm done until the Super
man.
Bowl. So.
You're done.
Yeah.
But I'm not with the locks, baby.
Oh,
okay.
of course.
So last week I went 2-0-1. To say the least, I'm still on fire. This is remarkable, Mayor. I'm going to hit another 5 in a row. I told you on the prior pods, this doesn't happen. These streaks of 5-0. They just don't happen. I'm going to do it again. 2-0-1. I hit last night. I said, Bucks, give me those points. Easy cover with the 6.
You did.
And the Sunday night game,
That was
which one? I was just going to say Patriots. It was the Dallas game, which we just talked about. That was the push. And then the Thursday game was the under.
And you got
with
that.
the Colts and the Broncos. And I even said, anything under 40, you got to be wary about that. Sure enough, the final was like 38 points total.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was humble
You're on-
brag, I was spot on.
You're on fire.
I said with the Steelers Ravens game the other week, I said it's going to be a bullshit cover for Steelers. It ended up being a bullshit win. I was a little off. I apologize. Covered nonetheless. So, no TNF this week. However, it's almost bowl season.
Ooh.
But I'll just stick with the NFL for now. So, on Sunday night, we got no games.
Really?
We got no Sunday night, and we got no Monday night, and we got no TNF. Wow.
Are you sure?
Wow.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Unless Sports Alerts app is letting me
Well,
down
you're on
there.
week 17 right now.
Oh, that's week 17. Little error. Don't worry about
little
that.
error.
I know there's no TNF. Mm-hmm. And there's no Sunday night, but there is Monday night, and there's a Monday late afternoon game. So
yeah, that's
I'll give the
Christmas,
people.
okay. Or is it? Yeah, it is Christmas.
I just do the mainstream games. I do. That's all I do. And actually, you know what? I'll do the Saturday night game.
Ooh, okay.
It's Green Bay at home against Minnie. That is stone cold lock. Green Bay plus 8.5. Goddamn, the Vikings suck. They're not good. Frauds. That's fraud alert. I mean, if you're taking Minnesota, check yourself. They're going up to Lambeau. No way they're winning by more than a touchdown.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the stamp of approval right there. That is easy money.
Okay,
I don't
wow.
care who's playing quarterback, Brett Hundley or Aaron Rodgers. The Vikings stink.
You're
Case
going
Keenum,
Holland on this one.
Fraud.
Okay,
Fraud.
okay.
Fraud. All right, so that's an easy one.
Can't wait to hear what James says about that.
James Brancato, not worried about that. Not worried about what he thinks. All right, then we'll do the Oakland-Philly game. Phillies -9, over under 47. Wow, that's a tough one. But the people will be watching, so I'll give you a nice lean here. I'm not really liking those points for Oakland, but I'm feeling good about the over under 47, and I would say take the over in that one. A lot of points to be scored in that one. Oakland will pull it together. A lot of garbage. The Eagles score. They'll be running it. They'll be throwing it. I mean, expect Folesy.
you played the game.
Probably another 4 touchdowns for Nicky Foles.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I saw this.
That's sketchy though. That's still sketchy.
Yeah. So that one's not like your
It's a lean.
absolute lock.
No,
is
but
that
Green,
Vikes game?
Oh my God, Green Bay.
Green Bay. Okay.
Yeah. Might have to come out of retirement for that one. Holy shit. That's a lot.
Oh boy.
That is a lot.
All right. Interesting. But what I was going to say is I did see that the top 3 quarterbacks, I believe, of the NFC, right? We have Goff, Keenum, Foles. What do they all have in common?
Let me mull this over a minute, man. I got it. Let me think. Jeff Fisher.
They all played under Jeff. I think it's just hilarious that when you play for Jeff Fisher, your team just bombs no matter what. And not only that, you also have that. There's some news now that Jeff Fisher might be trying to coach the Browns.
Oh, God.
If you're a Browns fan and they sign Jeff Fisher, you should riot in the street. You should do something. Who's the owner? Jimmy Haslam. Go to Jimmy Haslam's house and do something to it. I'm not going to, tell you to do anything. I'm not going to commit, conspiracy to commit whatever. Mm-hmm. Whatever. I'm not a, You're not
a conspiracy guy?
I'm not a conspiracy guy, but that would just be absolutely unreal. Mm-hmm. But okay, so you're saying Pack plus 8.5.
That's what we got early, 8.5.
And then
anything over 7, please take Green Bay. That is Lock City.
Okay.
My God.
And then over
47 right now.
47.
Stay wary if it goes up any higher than 47. Sketchy. As long as it's at 47, 27-20. I could see 27-21. Wouldn't venture much higher than that, though.
Okay, very interesting. Make sure you guys take note of that. I really wish someone was playing these lines. I want to think deep down someone is playing these.
Someone somewhere is. Just don't know who.
And if you are, please let us know.
Call in.
Tip
me.
Absolutely.
I'll put my Venmo, K-Stritch. Hang on, I got to make sure that's right. Venmo, K-Stritch. Just send me a couple funds, that you won. It's all
no
good.
big. All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to transition here, Marin, to a little rough and rowdy?
Yes.
Because that was a big topic on the last show.
It was.
And we both watched.
We did watch it.
Right after the Epi with AJ. We went and we watched, and it was electric.
It was amazing. That was so much fun. That I kind of doubted Portnoy when he bought Rough and Rowdy at first. I don't doubt him anymore.
No. Brilliant investment.
That show is content up the ass. I mean,
it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
For those who didn't watch, it's 1-minute rounds. I thought it was 2.
Yeah.
1-minute rounds. And there's 3 total. Mm-hmm. So it's just nonstop flailing. Like, this isn't like your typical boxing where it's like 3-minute rounds, right? I don't follow boxing. I don't know. It's like I feel like
3-minute rounds, and then it's usually 12 rounds. Yeah,
like so long, and they're just like bouncing around, not hitting each other. This is just a minute of everything you got, swinging at your opponent.
Yes.
Just reckless, dude. Like people taking punches to the face, people leading with their heads, getting knocked out. It was awesome.
And not only are these aren't. If you didn't watch, these aren't professional fighters.
No,
these are people who signed up to fight for fun. They wanted to. They wanted to.
Yes.
And some of the matchups were absolutely unbelievable. We had that one matchup with that real tall guy who took on that little midget dude, and the little midget guy gave him a good
fight.
He went the distance, which is 3 minutes.
One guy was chiseled, looked like a statue.
Yeah.
He couldn't knock him out somehow. This guy was just prancing around, giving him all he could.
Yeah.
I mean, he eventually lost, but nonetheless, it was still entertaining.
I found it funny when they got knocked out right away. The doctor came in and was performing the the concussion test on them. Like, they just got knocked out. I mean, let them be, and then deal with it afterwards. They were doing stuff right in the ring. It was electric. One of my favorite parts that wasn't about the fight, and we'll talk about the main event in a second, was that they had that ring girl. She was a smoke, looked great, but my favorite,
a lot of good ring girls.
My favorite part was that Prez was absolutely enamored with that one girl. He couldn't stop talking about her. He's just saying, he goes, "Oh my God, she's a star. She's a star." He had her getting interviewed by Roan, I think, or by Caleb, one of the two. Prez was in love. He was ready. He was ready to hire her on the spot at Barstool, and I just loved that. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But in terms of the fight, right? If you don't know, the winner was between Tex and Hank, Handsome Hank. It was Handsome Hank.
Yep.
And that is who you
I
picked.
predicted.
Yes.
Like what I said. Tall, more athletic than I gave him credit for. And he went in there, gave it his all. Tex, honestly, Tex was just so uncoordinated. Apparently, it's hard to stay on your feet when you're fighting like that.
I have never seen someone so uncoordinated in their lives.
Falling down left and right. He was I saw him tripping some people on Twitter saying it's harder than you think to stay on your feet. No, it's not.
It's really not.
No, it's not. Stay on your feet, bob and weave a little. Tex did hit him with the punch of the fight for sure. Knocked Hank down.
Yes.
And that was electric, to say the least. Reactions from the Barstool crew, electric. Like everyone just going nuts in awe at that punch, and it was awesome.
It was a great moment. I realized very early on that by picking Tex, I was going to be absolutely wrong, because he couldn't stay on his feet, as we already said. It was unbelievable. I don't know if he even got punched like that hard. None of his falls were because of Hank. They were because he could not stay on his 2 feet. But yeah. Right when Hank got a little comfortable, Tex threw that little punch, little hook, put him down right near the end. That was one of my favorite moments. It absolutely sold me on this show, on the pay-per-view. And we're going to see who they have next. I think the next fight is on Valentine's Day, or close to it.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Which is interesting because who's going to be buying it on Valentine's Day? That's a day, Do you see yourself buying it on? Do you see yourself watching it on Valentine's Day?
It depends. I mean, I don't know what the lineup is yet. I would definitely love to see some more Barstool guys go at it. Okay. I think that's what really would keep it going. Like, if you can get some Barstool guys to, like, at least one of them. It doesn't need to be, like, a rivalry in office, but get one of them to fight, like Big Cat maybe or PFT.
Oh my God.
That would be hilarious.
I saw that the next one that's going to fight, they did say another Barstool guy was going to fight, and it was someone from Barstool Indie. I think it was, like, the 20-second chef guy, or $20 chef, $20 under chef.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one who's going to fight next.
I like that. I'd like to see Donnie.
Donnie said that if 800 people bought the pay-per-view through the link that he got or whatever, that he would have fought. I don't think that happened. I would love to see Donnie go at it. Him cranking some hoons before he gets into the ring. It would be electric.
Yeah. Absolutely. A little pregame meal, some goons. That'd be awesome, dude.
Oh, man. I hope he does. I think he will.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because he's too much. He's too much. But yeah, all in all, I think we both agree. Thumbs up on Rough and Rowdy.
Thumbs up for sure.
Absolutely
Can't
amazing.
wait for the next one. We will be watching, purchasing that. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. You know what? Real quick, let's go into Savage of the Week real quick.
Okay.
There are 2 nominees, candidates for Savage of the Week. Number 1, and we talked about this before the show, and if you haven't seen it yet, I will put a link in the description. It is a woman, right?
Yep.
She's at the Atlanta Hawks game, enjoying the game, I presume, and then something must have gone wrong. And you see her in the video. She puts her fist up to her mouth,
like her hands,
which I don't know what she was planning what she was hoping that would do. But it did not do what she wanted, because she then proceeded to
projectile vomit
everywhere.
Like catching it in her hands, falling on the ground, getting on her clothes, just disgusting, right behind the bench.
It was disgusting.
It was foul, and she didn't move, get up, didn't attempt to go to a trash can, didn't appear to be too drunk, probably just sick. If you're sick, why are you at a basketball game? If you know you're sick, why aren't you getting to the garbage can?
Yeah.
No idea, but she just kept puking watching the game.
She must have ate something bad at the game, and then it was just like, yeah, I saw her. Again, I don't judge, but she was a little bit of a big girl.
She was. It's just a fact.
I think it was. It's a fact.
Too many bacon cheese fries.
She might have had a little too much food, and she wasn't feeling good. And she was front row. She is in the front. Well, she's not courtside. She's the front row from the court. And guess what? She wasn't gonna make it. I think she knew that. I think she knew she had no chance of making it.
No garbage cans around. Didn't want to make a mess on the floor. Gave up her body. Congrats to this lady on being the Savage of the Week on the Hot Snowball.
Absolutely. I think she has to be. We did have another nominee. Who was the nominee again?
Yes. I had one that I came across on the internet. It was a New York City man was arrested after he reportedly made over $1 million selling Chuck E. Cheese tokens as Bitcoins on the streets. That is unreal. What a savage.
I think he would have been Savage of the Week if he didn't get caught. Because that is absolutely brilliant. I would love to see that. I would love to have seen the process go down of someone buying a Chuck E. Cheese coin.
On the token? How are you buying a token with Chuck E. Cheese on it? He must have probably schemed it up, somehow erased Chucky off the coin and then told people. That's incredible.
I can't believe there's people out there who think that Bitcoin is actual coins. and that one of these coins is worth $15,000 you're going to give to some random guy. Absolutely blows my mind that this happened.
Yeah.
But I give him credit. I'd say he would have won Savage of the Week if one, the puking lady she did not puke. If she didn't puke, he'd be a shoo-in.
Yeah.
And two, if he didn't get caught, he got caught. And so he's probably going to go to jail for a long time.
Because
he took $1 million from people.
Yeah, not nice of him.
But congrats to that lady puking on the sidelines. You joined a very infamous club of Savage of the Week.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. So
congratulations.
Way to go. Proud of you.
Way to go. Way to be.
Well, staying on the NBA topic, Mayor, I don't know if you were watching last night, but the Celtics had an unreal win. Yeah. Unreal.
That's one way I would put it.
So they were up huge in the first half. You know, I love Brad Stevens. Sometimes I question what he's doing.
Whoa.
I question
him?
I question Brad, yeah.
Okay.
You're up 17.
Okay.
You know, you're burying him. I talk about this all the time. When you're up big, just get them down even more.
Yeah.
You know, it's the NBA. No lead is safe. You can't bring in Shane Larkin, Daniel Tice, Semi Ojeleye, and all these guys who kind of stink and let the team back in the game, which would be the Pacers, and Oladipo went off. That's another story. He's had an unreal season.
Great player.
All-star for sure. He's taken off this year, game to another level.
Absolutely.
Him and Sabonis, while PG out in Paul George, Oklahoma City, has been nothing but pretty bad.
He's been average.
Along with that team, it's just bad in general. So good. I'm happy the Pacers are doing well. What an environment. Everyone's going crazy at that, at the, what's it called? Field House.
Yep, the Field
Last
House.
night. I mean, let me set the stage for those who didn't watch. So the Celtics were up big. Come back. The Pacers come back. They eventually tie the game late in the fourth, like 3 minutes to go. Oladipo, clutch three. They're up 3. Then Oladipo, clutch left-handed layup over Horford. They're up 5. Kyrie Irving, even more clutch, Gene. 2 threes, like contested, fading away off screens. Better
been
defense.
known to do that.
Better defense could have been played in certain case scenarios, but nonetheless keeps them in the game. Like they didn't miss any free throws. The Pacers, they didn't.
Yep.
And then they get the ball. The Celtics are fouling. However, with like 11 seconds left, they get it into Corey Joseph. This is the Pacers. They don't foul Corey Joseph. They pass it then to Bogdanovich, and they don't foul him. And then he throws this lollipop pass out to Oladipo, who's like at the top of the key. And Terry Rozier, swoops in, grabs it, and then tomahawks it with 3 seconds left to take a 1-point lead. Unreal.
Gosh.
And then they inbound it to Collison, who does this like double pump baseball pass shot, and it goes off the back of the rim straight up in the air.
Wow.
But it wasn't, I mean, it was right at the hoop. It just couldn't go in because, I mean, obviously, if you know anything, you know, if you throw a line drive, it's probably going to hit the rim.
Physics.
Got to get a little more arc on it. You know, Darren, next time you're doing a baseball pass, try and throw it a little higher in the air. It might go in the hoop, you know?
Yeah, come on. You got to practice those like Steph does.
It's important.
It is. It is.
Yeah, definitely. But what an unreal win for the Celtics. Electric game. Loved it.
Yep.
I mean, just something about the Boston sports, man. I don't know what it is.
I wish I knew what they're putting in the water for you Boston fans. I will say this. Great win. Those are games you got to win. But I will say that team it gets every single game, just something goes their way. And I was reading a little quote afterwards by Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was talking about the play. They were talking to Terry Rozier. And Terry was saying that on that last play, Marcus Smart was fouling someone. He was literally yelling out to the refs, I'm fouling.
Yeah.
They didn't call it, and then that whole thing goes down. It's like the Celtics, they wanted to foul, and the refs were like, no. I mean, it's just, you know, you got to win those games. As I said, basketball, that's how it is. Sometimes you got to get a little lucky. And they did kind of deserve to win that game because they were up big, and as you said, they kind of let it go. But you know, it's just not much has gone wrong for that Celtics team. No. That's all I'll say. I don't want to get
besides the Hayward injury, and we all know he's coming back.
Of course,
and we all know he's probably coming back.
Yeah. I mean, you like to talk about him walking. He wasn't walking.
He was walking, man. Don't deny it. He was walking.
Shuffling very carefully.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he barely even lifted his feet above the ground. It was like a shuffle. Like, he was, like, learning to walk again.
All right, whatever.
But whatever,
now,
right.
Mayor,
right.
I just heard you say luck. I think I heard you say some...
I did say luck. I did.
Now, that's a debate for another day. We might have to have somebody on so we can discuss a little bit about... whether luck is involved in sports or not.
Okay.
That's a debate for another day, though. Would love to hear people's thoughts on that.
Okay.
Call in, maybe. is luck a thing in sports? Would love to hear the logic.
Question.
Would love to hear the logic behind that. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is. Would love to hear it.
Interesting.
Well, we'll keep that for another day, though.
We'll keep it for another day.
Now, continuing off the NBA, Mayor,
Right.
your guy LeBron, I saw this post, where's he going next year?
Okay.
And I got the odds right here as of December 18th, which is yesterday. Cleveland, plus 200. Rockets, plus 250. Lakers, plus 400. 76ers, plus 1,000. And then, it gets a little bit steep with, I don't know how, but the Warriors are plus 1,600. That would just be sickening.
Well, you know what? I saw that they were planning. This is what they're planning. The Warriors, they are planning on signing Paul George in the offseason.
That would be, I
know.
mean,
It makes me sick.
I'm not the biggest Paul George fan, but he obviously would be a good addition to the team.
I'm not a huge fan of him either, but when you put him on, he's a great player, and you put him on a team like that.
With 4 other great players, trouble.
Right. So, again, I don't know how they will make the cap work, but somehow this team just doesn't run out of money. The cap room it's just there somehow. They're paying every player $30 million on the starting lineup, and somehow they're still going to be able to sign either LeBron. They're not going to sign LeBron, but they might sign Paul George. But getting back to your question about who I think will be the team that LeBron goes to, I really think he does stay with Cleveland. I don't think he goes anywhere. I think that Cleveland is his home. I think he's built that team. I don't know if he would leave again knowing that he is the one. Like this go-around, the first go-around with the Cavs, they didn't get the players he wanted. That's why he left. Now he's getting all the players. He picked out the whole team.
Yeah, and got him max contracts.
He got the max contracts. He's the one who gave J.R. Smith the contract. Tristan, Tristan, he's at least okay. J.R.
He's okay.
J.R. is
okay.
That was just one because LeBron told him to get JR that contract. But in general, that is his team. I would lose. I can't lose much respect for him because he is one of the best of all time. But I would lose I would be disappointed in him. I wouldn't be mad. I would be disappointed if he left because that's his mess theoretically.
Yeah.
But I would say that if there was a second team, and we were talking about this before the pod, the Rockets would be absolutely electric.
Oh, I would love to see that. I feel like wherever you go and you got CP3, unreal basketball IQ. People always talk about MVPs, who's the most valuable, who's the best. Chris Paul is one of those guys with just unreal b-ball IQ.
Oh,
now, I don't particularly know if he's a winner because he's never made it to the finals, but he hasn't had too much, I'll say, luck with injuries on his team like Griffin, and DJ's a decent center. I like those Clippers teams. I liked them. I didn't love them.
Yeah.
I thought they were decent, but I never thought they would get past the other teams in the West. So that's sort of what his problem was. If they were in the East, I could see him making it there. But his b-ball IQ is so high. He's a very valuable basketball player to have in your team. And I think CP3's b-ball IQ and LeBron's are the 2 highest in the league. And then when you throw in Harden, who's just... he might have the MVP vote, in my opinion. It's him or LeBron.
It's him or LeBron.
Easily
so
at this
close.
point. At this point, it's still
close.
so early.
Yes,
very true. It doesn't really matter to be talking that.
True.
It's different in the NFL. We're toward the end of the season, but with the NBA right now, it's still early. Regardless, both them MVPs in my book.
Yeah.
No one else really. Probably Harden more so just because, I don't know. I feel like they give it to guys like Harden who haven't won before. LeBron has.
Right.
That's how they do it.
If we're going to pick who should win, I would say it would probably be LeBron. But if I had to pick who I think will win, I would say I would give the slight edge to Harden as well.
Harden at this point, but so much can change. Still
Absolutely.
So early.
Absolutely.
Impossible to tell. Basically, it's just a marathon right now with any basketball. I'm still in football mode, man. I know you don't really have your team, but
yeah,
I'm still in football mode.
Yep.
Can't wait though to watch the Pats win number 6 this year. It's gonna be fun.
Okay.
And once that's over with, and I've settled down, came down from my high, then it'll be big time basketball. Time, and I'll be looking forward to that.
I got to say, I'm looking forward to watching football. For fun again, and not having to worry about every single play that happens for 12 hours, or not 12 hours, for from 1 to 11:30. But yeah, CP3, Harden, LeBron, Capella.
Would love that.
And also
Eric Gordon,
3-point contest
Ryan.
I'm sure Ryan Anderson might have to get traded if they want to get LeBron. I don't know, and I'm sure Ariza might have to as well. But PJ Tucker, he's like a good bench player. People want PJ Tucker. And I will say as well that I am a fan of like the whole offense.
Yeah.
High powered, high scoring.
Yep.
LeBron will get open looks. And let's not forget, LeBron and CP3, they're buddies. They're boys.
They are.
Him, Melo, CP3, and who was the last one again? Oh, Wade. That's like the little posse right there.
Yeah.
So we will see. I think it will be a very interesting decision 3. Will be very interesting indeed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We'll keep talking about these little NBA things. About where people are at with like the MVP race, possible trades, if any trades go down, any injuries,
long season ahead,
any wild games. So we'll touch upon it. Still in football mode, but we will touch upon it. Now, Mayor, we're doing pretty good on time. You want to talk a little bit about what happened with ESPN's president, John Skipper, big nemesis of Dave Portnoy, because we love Barstool. I'm pro Barstool, 100%.
100%.
Definitely like some of the people at ESPN in general. Don't like.
Not a fan.
What the upper management, I guess, is all about.
Absolutely.
You don't root against guys like SVP and who else do I like over there?
I like SVP. I like Tony Reale a little bit. I like Wilbon a little bit. I like Tony.
Wilbon, Mayor, what?
I don't like him. Like I'm not.
I'm
I like
with Stephen A.
Stephen A's my guy. But in terms of John Skipper, I think this was long overdue, and he, as you said, he definitely made a lot of decisions that hurt his company in the long run.
Absolutely.
And I think that we do have some inside sources at the mothership at ESPN, and there were some little rumors, going around the office. This is what I was told, that Skipper was kind of looking at a presidential run opposite of Trump for 2020. That is, again, yes, 2020. That's just what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. But, this guy, he definitely took things a little too far in terms of like the liberal bias of ESPN. I think when it comes to like sports, just keep it down the middle. Don't even talk politics.
No.
That's just my opinion.
No matter where it is on ESPN or on your social media.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
there?
yeah.
But, I mean, definitely if this guy has a substance problem, take care of it.
Oh, of course.
However, I feel like Barstool on the rise. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
It's got to be a moral win for them.
It's absolutely a moral win. I mean, Portnoy is popping champagne on the rundown, drinking to this. So he's obviously ecstatic. I wouldn't be surprised to see more of his enemies go down in the near future, and I will love to see the reactions to that as well.
Oh, 100%. And I will say, there's been some rumors going around that John Skipper, the reason that he resigned, he said it was a drug problem or substance abuse problem. Some people aren't buying that.
Yeah, no.
Which is interesting.
No, I agree, Mayor. Not everyone is. I mean, coincidence, a lot of stuff going down at ESPN, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't rule it out.
Can't rule it out.
We're not conspiracy guys, but you can't rule it out.
We're conspiracy guys. I'm a conspiracy guy, not that type of conspiracy guy. When it comes to like UFOs and stuff like that, big conspiracy guy. That big story did break. I don't want to get into that too much. But when it comes to Skipper, I do have a question for you.
Yes.
If he is having a substance abuse problem, what are we thinking? What is the favorite? If we're making odds here, what's the favorite? Pills.
I think he's a pill guy.
I think he's a pill guy.
I can't see him doing anything like heroin or cocaine, anything like that.
No.
Looks like a guy who just gets illegal prescription pills and just floats on a cloud after a nice perk 30. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We've all been there.
I can see it. Absolutely. No comment on that one.
No.
But absolutely. I think I was thinking pills. I was thinking like probably like he got his back messed up one point, or like he like said he was like feeling
That's
sad.
how it happens. Yeah.
Like Tony, they gave Tony Soprano some Prozac, and you got to be careful with that.
Oh yeah,
you got to be careful with that.
You do.
So again, if John Skipper is dealing with something, best of luck to him. No one. I don't want to see anyone go down that dark path. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen with ESPN now that this guy's out.
Yeah. Oh, definitely going to stay tuned on this one. I mean, I feel like
100%.
there's just stuff happening in media, big sports. I mean, Jerry Richardson, owner of the Panthers, selling the team,
Yes,
sexual
yeah.
harassment. That is a hot commodity right now. We might have to have some females on to talk a little sexual harassment.
Okay.
Fun fact
Okay.
at my
Chicks
new
in the
job.
office? Okay.
Yeah, I had to do some compliance training today at my new job. Won't specify what that is exactly. We'll keep that on the down low.
Okay.
Working though, regardless. Doing some compliance training on sexual harassment today online in my free time, and the examples that they came up with were quite hilarious. And a few of them I disagreed with wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do tell.
One
Like,
of the
what-
examples, for example, one of the examples was like a guy at his desk walks over to a female, asks her if she's looking to go out after work to have a couple drinks and show her a good time.
Ooh.
Okay, a few things. Maybe that's not the best choice of words, show her a good time. But, I didn't think there was anything wrong with that.
No, you know what? I think a lot of these cases coming out, like you saw what was going on with Butchergross, John Butchergross.
Yeah.
And they released, John Butchergross was accused
Text.
of alleged sexual misconduct. They pulled up the text. It was, very lighthearted flirtation.
Yeah.
At the minimum.
Oh, yeah.
At the maximum.
Now,
I'm sorry, at the
Mayor, I'm a
maximum.
little worried. I'm not worried because I'm a sorry, taken man. However, if I was single,
Yeah.
I would be very nervous at this point in time in society to go up to maybe a coworker, female, I thought was pretty and would like to take out a nice dinner outside the office. I feel like she might get offended or something.
I mean, it's been happening all over the place that
I'm pretty sure.
I sometimes like to think, like, if you took a company, right? Like, I used to work for Lake Compounds back in the day.
Oh, love
Slaved
that.
away in the summertime.
For those who
ask-
don't know, it's
Yeah.
a nice little amusement park in Bristol, Connecticut.
Yes.
You got the water park, the roller
Water
coaster.
park,
Great time for the
roller coaster.
minorities. Great time.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Free Coca-Cola all day, baby.
No more. They took that away.
Well, that's terrible.
Formally, it's a shame. But I was telling some people. You could ask some of the females who work there. That place. Of course, it wasn't me. It was actually like the upper management, the people in charge of these, 21-year-old kids, 18 to 21. There was definitely some things going on, and I can't just help but wonder if every company was so publicly well known, so famous, so popular, would more come out? I think that's a good question to ask.
Very good question, man.
Because, I don't think that some of the things that people do and say are like they think are sexual misconduct, and then it ends up being that's the case. I'm lucky at my work. I'm the youngest person by about 35 years.
Love that.
And so even if I wanted to, I mean, I wouldn't want to, because as I said, I'm the youngest person there by a wide margin. But luckily I don't have to even worry about that. But for some people like you, not you per se, but for some people like maybe some single guys in your office, younger people, you got to watch what you say now.
You got to stay on your toes, Mayor.
You gotta stay on your
have to be on your
toes.
toes. And the other example I vividly remember was manager Mike likes to joke around with Lauren at lunch because she's old, and he put a pillow at her desk and said, "You better catch up on your sleep." And apparently that's harassment in the office.
That is
not sexual, but harassment.
That's harassment?
Yeah, some people could be offended by it. Third parties. It doesn't matter if you or the other person do. You got to worry about the other people.
Okay.
As well.
Okay.
Like if I were to flirt with a woman at work,
Which
and
you would
she
never.
would never do that. But if I were to, and try and get after it with her,
Right.
and someone was like listening in on it and felt uncomfortable, they could report me for that. Which seems kind of unbelievable.
I mean, I guess when it comes down to it, corporate America, you just got, I guess maybe that's just a way to weed out people and get new people in jobs. It's just
I
like,
guess
yeah,
so.
you got to be crystal clear at all
Definitely
points in
interesting.
time.
I was going to mention another thing too about Lauer and everything going down with him. I'm going to keep it to myself though.
Okay, keep
Maybe
it.
a little off air.
Okay.
We could chat about it. But you don't want to get too many people triggered. You know what I'm saying, Mayor? Some
Absolutely.
people get triggered very easily.
Just remember, with this pod on iTunes, by the way, if you haven't already, go on to iTunes.
Subscribe.
If you want, unsubscribe, then subscribe again.
Yep.
Make sure you rate 5 stars. Give us a review, even though we've been trying to put in reviews ourselves and they haven't been working. But put in those reviews. Anyways, we do have it on there that we do have explicit content on our pod.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this, you got to know, you got to come in prepared.
It's explicit.
That's all. It's explicit.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, maybe not what you want to hear, but have to hear.
Exactly. 100%. Anything else you want to touch on? I think we might have touched on everything we were hoping to.
Yeah, I mean, another great pod in the books, Mayor. Had a blast doing it.
One thing I just wanted to add real quick. How embarrassing is it, Indiana losing to Fort Wayne at home by 20 points? Just want to throw that out there.
Oh, that college basketball game? Yeah, I mean, you never know with basketball. Anybody can win. Nowadays, everybody can shoot, man. It doesn't matter what level you're at.
100%.
I go and play pickup in the gym at college back in the day. Everyone makes open threes. Everyone makes open shots. You got to play both sides of the ball. The difference is always the athleticism, size, ultimately. Right. But if you can get some kids who can shoot the rock and they're open, you play no defense, you could lose.
100%. And guess what? When I watch my favorite team, UConn Huskies, they can't shoot to save their lives.
Right, and they were down to Coppin State.
They were down to Coppin State. If UConn lost by 20 to a team like Fort Wayne, Kevin Ollie, people would be like,
Mayor,
filling the
would
streets.
be a good game. We've never watched Fort Wayne, to be fair. And the spread was 13.5, so it wasn't like too steep, like 25-20.
Right.
But Indiana
just the principle
at home story
of
program.
things.
Right, exactly.
Just the principle of
things.
things.
I agree, 100%.
I just wanted to get that out because, I
agree.
There is a little bit of a double standard there.
So, next episode, we don't have a guest lined up yet. People have been hitting me up via Snapchat when I post the clip, SoundCloud, getting some good feedback. Some people sliding in my DMs.
Love that.
Twitter, Instagram, in general, hitting me up, trying to be guests on the pod. Don't have a guest for Friday. If you want to call in, go ahead. If you want us to come out to you, if you're not too far away, we'll have a couple beers Friday night, and we'll record a pod. You know?
Absolutely.
Always encouraged.
We're always encouraged. We're always trying to cater. And if we don't have a guest, if that for some reason we don't have a guest, you're still going to get some quality content from
and
the two of
also,
us.
I've been getting a lot of feedback. People really like the first episode with Wood. I think people got a good.
I think Wood might have to be the next guest again.
He could be.
Might have to come back on
again.
He's
a teacher, and he's home for winter break, so that's a possibility. And he was requested by popular demand by a few to come back on the pod, discuss some more stuff, what he's been up to lately since his reprieve from Thanksgiving to now. Sort of talk about a little bit about what's going on in his future. So that's definitely a possibility. If not, you can bet your bottom dollar Woodsy will be back on the pod at some point. So everyone don't fret. He will be back on.
Absolutely.
But if anyone wants to, just hit us up, me or Mayor, social media, let us know, and we can arrange that for sure.
Absolutely.
If it's not too complicated. Speaking of Woodsy, I'll wrap it up with a story from the weekend. We went to this place in Southington called Crystal Bees.
Yeah. By the way, would have loved to join you guys, but I was too busy watching Saturday Night Football, wanting to kill myself at every single turn.
We were watching that as well at the bar, Mayor. You could have drank at the bar with us while watching it.
I know.
You would have felt better, probably.
Well, it actually went well. I was optimistic at that point because it did go well. My little usual ritual of sitting in my room and praying that I don't get scored on. But I'm sorry, keep going. What? So
we're
Saturday night,
right? At Crystal Bees, it's a bowling alley in Southington. It's got a nice little bar. It's got some arcade games for the kids.
Oh.
I partook as well. Not a bad time at all. I enjoyed it. The bar, good service. Not too many people sitting at this bar, so definitely had the gin and tonics with Tanqueray flowing. No doubt about that. Had a great time bowling with my girlfriend. It was her birthday. Her birthday's actually tomorrow, so happy birthday to my lovely girlfriend, Georgia.
Okay, happy birthday, Georgia.
Happy early birthday. 23, I believe. Ooh. But we celebrated a week early. And
I don't know if you're supposed to say that, but keep going.
No, it's her birthday week, so you celebrate a week up until...
Right, no, I'm just saying, I don't think you're supposed to say a female's age. I thought that was like a thing.
No, that's all right. She's young. She's young.
She's young. That's true. Okay.
So the point of this story is Woodsy came. Mm-hmm. Great to have him in the atmosphere, in that type of environment where there's a DJ playing music, bowling, which he loves. One of the few kids I know who has bowling shoes and a bowling ball. Fun fact about Wooder. And they also had a little dance floor. So you guessed it. You guessed it. He didn't want to dance. However... This little 11-year-old boy showed him up like I've never seen before on the dance floor. Oh my gosh. I had a Snapchat of it at Stritch I'm pretty sure that's my snap.
I think it is.
But if you got a chance to see that, this little kid like blew him a kiss, did like a backflip, blew his ass a kiss.
Do you have that saved possibly?
No, I don't.
Oh, man.
No, I don't.
I would have loved to. We could put that up.
I know, but it is K-Stritch, and Wood got buried. Hilarious. We got much more of Wood coming up in the weekend, so you'll be hearing more stories. That's all we got for you today. Mayor, last words.
No words here. Just make sure you subscribe, resubscribe. Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Give us a 5 stars. Try to make it big. I do like when our thing pops up. It says related podcast. Part of my take. Some of the goats are in the related pods.
Love that.
So have a good day, everyone, and we'll see you on Friday.
Yes. Take it easy.
I make do say what's a rock. That's that diddy bop. That's that diddy bop. That's that diddy bop. I make do say what's a rock. That's that diddy bop. That's that diddy bop. That's that diddy bop. I make do say what's a rock. And I smoke a lot. I got cameras in the spot. It ain't no 20s in my knots. When I drink, I pour a lot.